Ladies and gentlemen, this is John Rare, and I am back with one of the young and up-and-coming superstars here in the Deep South, the hardcore hillbilly himself. How are you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good, nothing to do on Thursday night with the rain and everything.
Yeah, we're showered by tornadoes currently, but that's not going to stop no interview of mine. So, let's start off, what got you to love the business? What got you intrigued to get into this wild business of deathmatch wrestling?
Yeah, so I always grew up around wrestling, going to a lot of live shows, and everything. And then when I was probably about in middle school, well, I knew I loved pro wrestling. Then when I was in middle school, my dad took me to a ECW reunion show, and it was really funny because I didn't actually fall in love with it at the show, because what happened was the promoter got all of these ECW badasses out there and didn't pay them. So they were just there for the meet and greet. But I knew they were big names, so I did a lot of research on Sabu, and they had Funk there, Tommy Dreamer, Raven, and so watching the hardcore style, that's when I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do.
Now, definitely some of the guys you mentioned there, I loved growing up. Sabu, and of course, Terry Funk, I've said it a million times, was one of my idols. I swear I wanted to be Terry Funk so bad.
He's my bucket list on Stars to Meet. I've done that Mick Foley was cool.
Yeah,
Terry Funk definitely next.
Yeah, Mick was one of my other ones. I heard of Terry first, so I really got into watching Terry Funk, and his style, obviously with his age and his ability, is something that I'm trying to emulate now with my injury, without me being able to bump a lot with my back now. Is I've been watching some old Terry Funk matches, and if you watch, some of his shit's brutal as hell, but he didn't have to bump. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now in my career.
Quick Flair bump.
Yeah.
You do the ass first bump like Flair.
We see my my injury is actually in my lower back, so that's where my problem's at.
Ouch. Yeah.
But you wouldn't have noticed it during me and Jeff's match, so I was happy with that.
That was good when y'all about dangled set the damn ring on fire.
Yeah, and that is available right now on smartmarkvideo.com. It's the IWA Deep South Underground, I think, Volume 1 or Version 1, something like that. But it is available now. I know a lot of people were asking about it. Now,
yeah, that's definitely better than Mox versus Omega, for sure.
No shit. Dude, I'm not, I will say it a million times, I'm not a big AEW guy. I've tried it a few times and I haven't been able to get into it. But that was one of the pay-per-views we sat down and watched. And, I gave it the benefit of the doubt. And which, there was a lot of good wrestling on there. But that ending was so bad to me. It disappointed me yet again. So, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad because a lot of my friends aren't real big into wrestling. And so I had them all over just to show them how the big companies do death matches. And after they did it, they looked at me. They were like, "Well, your shit's crazier than this."
Yeah, I know. I catch hell sometimes online, especially for my opinion on AEW. But I stay where I'm at. I'm not gonna budge. If they impress me one day, I'll say it.
Yeah.
And I want to get your opinion on this, definitely. The Britt Baker match, everyone was like, it's the most classic women's match of all time. I said it was good, but compared to the shit that me and you see, on a monthly basis, that was just an average match.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole match. I have seen pictures and stuff. It looked like their main big shock factor spot was the thumbtacks, and hell, in Deep South we'll start out that match with thumbtacks.
Yeah.
But I will admit, though, I think Britt pulled a daggum hardcore hillbilly with that blade. It was cool the way that she got it to where, like, her lips, like, from her nose down to, like, her chin, didn't have no blood on it. So that was pretty neat. But, yeah, I mean, I didn't see anything too crazy from the clips that I did see from it. But I did see she got a lot of color, though, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely saying it was a good match, but you know, compared to what we see, and especially what I've seen over the years, yeah, it was just average. It really was.
Yeah.
But like to just deem it automatically one of the top female matches of all time, hell no.
Yeah, they need to break out the razor wire.
I should have broke out some razor wire on Jeff, but you know we kind of got thrown into that match. Well, I kind of forced myself into that match, but still.
Yeah.
Now you also are related to a kind of a big name in the industry. Is that correct?
Yeah, Big Boss Man's my uncle, but he passed away when I was super young. But it has given me a lot of connections with wrestlers. Like me and DDP are good friends. Through DDP, I talk to Jake sometimes. Me and Mick Foley talk every now and again. So I've got to meet a lot of cool people just from that like little connection.
And that's definitely awesome. Like I was a big fan of Boss Man when he came back. When he came back from WCW, and he was wearing like the black gear. I guess that was part of the corporation. Like I was a huge fan of him then.
Yeah, when he was the hardcore champion. So.
Yeah, yes. Like that, obviously the Attitude Era, that was some of the best shit that will ever happen. And no matter how hard AEW tries to emulate it, it's just not the same.
Well, I think the biggest difference now between what AEW's trying to do is they're trying to recreate the Attitude Era, but you can't have the flippy shit in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
You can't have pretty matches all the time.
And and that is another thing that I don't say it just aggravates me, but it turns me off on the AEW is the guy that rates all the damn matches.
Oh yeah, Dave Meltzer.
Meltzer, yes. Like no matter what AEW does, the dude is like, it's a high 3-star or it's a 5-star every match, and I'm like, it gets on my nerves because obviously Rock and Hogan considerably one of the greatest matches of all time in my opinion. Like if you go back and rewatch it now, you'll sit there and you sit there and think that's way better than what you watched it the first time. But Meltzer, I think rated that match a 3 or a 4 if I'm correct, and trust me, that match to me is way better than anything AEW's done.
Oh yeah.
Now don't get me wrong, if AEW called and was giving me a paycheck, I'd be there tomorrow.
Maybe this is hurting our job as crossfit.
But
this is gonna be what keeps Cody from dialing our numbers.
But you know what? I'd prefer to be a verbal person that tells the truth to your face than a damn sheep that's going to lie behind your back.
Yeah, I always tell people with big companies, like, everybody's like, would you go to WWE if you had the chance or whatever? And I'm like, probably not. Number one, they wouldn't let me use the hardcore hillbilly. Because somebody would get mad about it somewhere out there in the internet world. And they wouldn't let me do like hardcore stuff or anything, and like everything that I would do and say would be all from a group of riders who's never stepped foot in the ring.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm telling my friends, like, I like working on the indies and working for Deep South, because we basically get to do whatever we want, like character wise.
Now
we're in charge of our own look and everything.
What was your first Deep South show as a fan?
It was the Angel of Death tournament.
Now, if I'm correct, you got in before the show itself, and you got in there and like trained a little bit. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I was just screwing around with some of the guys that you brought. I remember Legato Vaughn, and then there was another guy. I think that was their first death match.
Yeah, that was Scott Patterson.
Yeah, and we were screwing around, taking bumps in the ring and stuff. But I got there early because I wanted to help build like weapons and stuff. Because that was the first time I think there was ever a deathmatch show in that area.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, it's one of the first I know in a long time. I know there used to be there a lot, but it's literally been years. So yeah, Angel of Death tournament was definitely something special to me. Like I always said that I wish there would have just been more people there. Like it aggravated me so much because it just wasn't the Angel of Death tournament. It was the Gypsy Joe tournament that was held in I think Alabama or Tennessee, and then there was also another one in Tennessee within like a 3-week span. And all three of them had really shitty turnouts. But, you know, you click on the internet and all the Southern fans are constantly saying, we want deathmatch shows.
But they don't show up.
But they don't show up. So, yeah, that burnt me really bad that night. Like, the show itself, I loved. And I know a lot of people shit on that show, but I loved it.
I enjoyed it. Working from a security aspect of it.
And so after that, when did you start training? Did you start training before the Lethal Leap Year show? Because I know you were there for that one too, right?
I actually started training in 2018 with over at All Pro Championship Wrestling with Robert Gibson. I went there from 2018 to 2019, and then I moved to Cobb County, and so I started going to WWA 4. Because by that point I knew I wanted to do deathmatch wrestling. And so for 2019-2020 I went to WWA 4 because A.R. Fox was the head trainer. And A.R. Fox has done death matches for like CZW and Lucha Underground and stuff like that. And then I stopped going right about the time of coronavirus. But I was already having like matches. Like doing house shows, doing, like little small, like, shows, like benefit shows and stuff.
So by the time,
about 2 years.
So by the time the Lethal Leap Year Shoot Style Baby came around, you were getting hungry for that damn opportunity.
Yeah, we about put me against Peter B. Beautiful. He'd have probably killed me, honestly.
Yeah, Peter B. Yeah, Peter B. has been known to get shoot on a lot, and then he's also been known to shoot on people a lot. So
it's one of them things. Like, kind of deserves it. Yeah, it was funny because when I cannot think of the dude's name, but he was supposed to come and bring all these weapons and stuff too. I think that was more like the biggest letdown.
Yeah, good old Christian Cross.
Yeah, because the dude said he's bringing like a truckload of like weapons, and so like Tyler and Kevin kind of like took into account for that. And when he just didn't contact anybody, the show started at like I want to say like 8 or something. Well, it's now like 5 or 6 o'clock, and he's still not there. And so Kevin just sends me and Tyler to Walmart. And then I get a call from Kevin. Kevin's like, man, you think you can just like job to Peter B? And I'm like, yeah, I could probably do it. And then when me and Tyler were talking, I was like, yeah, I don't want to go out there and like take the risk of getting like mass transited or something. What seems to be a common trend with me.
Like,
and,
yeah, that.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was about to say, me and you both.
So when I called him back, I was like, yeah, I can't do it. We were running around with like a chicken with our heads cut off.
Yeah, Kevin, Kevin, at the end of the Shoot Style Baby tournament, we were already getting that feeling that Christian wasn't going to show up because we didn't hear from him, and we couldn't get through to him on Messenger. So Kevin, Kevin tried to slide it to me there, hey man, I need you to come out of retirement. And I was just like straight no. I was like, no, I'm not coming out of damn retirement already. One show later, I'm not coming out. But then I went to dinner because there was a long intermission in between the shows. I went to that intermission, had dinner, and I was like, well, you know what? If I can get some more money out of Kevin, I'll go ahead and just do it.
Like, shit, I'll do it. I don't got nothing else to do.
Like, I honestly wanted to stay retired, and I was happy with it, but with the show being in jeopardy, with having Peter there with no opponent, and obviously all that shit that was supposed to have happened in that match, because like the razor wire is supposed to be in that match, and a lot of people ain't going to use the razor wire, so
yeah. And the way Peter used it, like, he had it on the board like I did, but he insisted that we made it like slanted up, like extremely high up, so when he hit it, it would just like immediately just fold flat. So, the mangled mess that me and you made it.
Yeah,
a lot of people, they do use it, they work it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. A lot of people will work the razor wire. As you've seen plenty of times, and I've seen it with you. We pretty much we go into it. I've been diced and sliced with damn razor wire.
You saw my damn arm at the the cinematic tournament?
Yeah.
That shit was probably the most brutal cut I've ever had so far. But I'd say more than my forehead. It was deeper, and you could see like the fat oozing out my arm with the blood.
And so that was like your first opportunity to jump in there, and obviously you probably made the right decision on not getting in there with that one.
I know I made the right decision.
So like I said, that one brought me out of retirement, and the very first thing I told Peter, I was like, no matter what Kevin says, I'm just going to put you over, make you look good, because I was not planning on staying out of retirement, even though that's ended up what happened.
Did you know they were going to do the Cody spot before it happened?
That was all my idea. With Cody, the Black Sheep, Cody McCauley, all that was my idea.
I remember, like, right before the match, everybody was scrambling, where was Cody at? Looking for him.
Yeah, that was, that was my idea, because I was like, what, if I'm going to come out of retirement, I really wanted to wrestle Cody McCauley. Now, he's got a different name now, but... Tyler, yeah.
A little shout out. Tyler Graves.
Tyler Graves, people. But I really wanted to wrestle him, so I was like, you know what? Go ahead and attack me at the end. Act like you're helping me up and everything, and then just attack me and beat the shit out of me. And we'll set up for me and you at the next show. And of course, he was excited about it. Because hell, that night I did not have gear. I was not planning on wrestling. I was not prepared. And he gave me a pair of tights to wear for the show.
Yeah.
So, obviously that set up for the next show, which would have been the first show that you debuted on, and that was the, shit, my lord, what a thunder. That was Shipocalypse, correct?
Yeah, I guess if you called it debut. It's more like a showcase of toughness.
Yeah, because that was the, we could call it the massacre of your forehead.
That proved nothing more. Yeah, the cool part about that show is I knocked somebody out. That was the Mr. Crystal slap fight. And then I think what really blew up was me getting my forehead stapled shut.
Yeah, on my channel, it's called the Staple Incident, but obviously when you gigged, you gigged wrong.
About scouting my damn self. The funniest, right before that happened, I walked up to you and asked you how do I cut one. And so you showed me, and you actually you cut one, and then you actually cut your finger with it. You cut another one, and so I have it with me. I lose it right before the match, so I try to cut one from memory. Well, I end up cutting like a damn shank. It went about 2 inches deep, just right across the forehead.
Yeah, and the staple gun was funny too, because that was actually I think they're the industrial staples, which I did not know. I thought it was a standard one.
We didn't realize it until the first one went in, and it was too late at that point. We're like, fuck it. I'd have probably passed out if we could staple clothes.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a classic show. That was you and Jerry Nelms.
Yeah, me and Jerry. All 3.5 minutes.
So the match itself is on Smart Mark Video, Shit Apocalypse, or you can see a rough copy of it on my channel. It's definitely not the HD, quality version that the DVD is, but it is there. So, that was your foot in the door, and the door is slammed on your forehead, but you came back. The very next show.
I think that surprised a lot of people. I feel like everyone was surprised by how optimistic I was during the whole situation. Over here joking around and shit, laughing, smoking a cigarette while we're stapling my forehead closed and shit.
Yeah, it was just a casual get-together of staple proportions.
And then after I stapled it closed, I walked around, told everybody bye, nothing happened.
Now the next show, was the next show let's see, what was the next show? It was another underground show, correct?
Cinematic, I think it was the cinematic tournament or something.
Yes, the shitty cinematic adventure or something. So this one is where you finally debuted into the slap fight contest.
Yeah, well, I debuted with the slap fight at the first show.
Oh, okay.
For Crystal.
Who'd you fight on that one?
Mr. Crystal.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Crystal, yeah.
Yep.
And you winning that one definitely, helped your name there. Because with you winning that one, it kind of solidified, hey, you're a little bit of a badass. You may have got cut pretty bad, but hey, you're a badass.
Yeah, well, it was the first knockout. It still is the first knockout we've had so far.
Yep. Then the second one was the shitty cinematic tournament, and obviously that was you, Big James Mayhem, and Mr. Crystal again. I know things got switched around a lot for this show because this was the show I was supposed to have wrestled Mayhem on, but 2 weeks prior to that is when I got hurt. So.
Yeah, that show I was supposed to start out the weekend. Defending the slap fight belt against Big James, which I won with knockout, and then doing a death match with AJ Frost. Well, literally, the day of the first day of the show, we hear, nothing whatsoever. And, we finally get in contact with him, he can't make it to the show. Then they're like, well, maybe Insane Lane won't kill the hardcore hillbilly. And so he ended up not being able to come, thank God. And then there was talks about trying to get Kane. And then I was going to wrestle Jay Blade and Blaine Evans, but something happened. They couldn't make it also. And so at the last minute we were like, fuck it, let's just throw me in the triple threat match. I will just throw me into the first round of the tournament with the death match.
Yeah, that show was definitely. It ended up being really damn good, but it was definitely plagued with a lot of call-outs and no-shows and injuries and just shit like that. But the show itself, pretty damn good.
It turned out good on DVD. I was skeptical at first. We've never done a cinematic death match before.
Yeah, I know recording it out there felt weird as hell to me just because, you'd get really intense, then take a break. Really intense, take a break. And I didn't like that. I don't know if I could do that, honestly.
Well, when everybody doesn't realize, nothing, getting blood in your eyes sucks, but nothing's worse than the blood actually, drying on your eyelids and shit.
Yeah.
It's so hard to see. And so, that match, it's 15 minutes long, but it took about 45 minutes to shoot. Just all to stop and go, stop and go.
And I know that's beyond annoying.
Yeah. it's like you get your adrenaline up, and then they'd be like, all right, we stop. And they'd be like, oh yeah, that last like two kind of cut something bad.
Well,
you just keep feeling it. You just keep that like a roller coaster of dopamine and pain.
at least y'all didn't have as many breaks and as long breaks as the Mr. America match.
Yeah, we went to McDonald's during that one.
Dude, yeah, that match had so many damn breaks, but they were so damn long. It was ridiculous. Like, just being out there, it was just horrible.
Yeah.
So now, with that match, you know, I think that match right there really built your confidence because it really made all three of y'all look good. You know, it was all over the MDC because of me. You know, that match just, I don't know, hell, it probably stole the show, to be honest.
Yeah. I'd like to think so. I think it was cool. I should get nicknamed the King of Color. Like, that show was cool. You know, just everything was right. Like, it wasn't hot, but it wasn't like cold either. It was like 50-something degrees. And so it was just warm enough to where you would sweat so the blood would run good, but you wouldn't overheat.
And that was also the show, go ahead and plug this, where we shot Dugan, the $10 Massacre, and it's available on my channel. It's actually a movie that surrounds a killer that walked into the wrestling show itself, and you starred in that.
It's pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, you know what? No, it's done very well on my channel. I want to say it's in like the top 15 of most watched videos. So. So after that show, definitely your confidence is at an all-time high because you're the slap fight champion, 2-0 at the time. You just came off of a hellacious death match, and so the next show is coming up, which I believe is just the one that we just did.
Yep.
And that was let's see, IWA Underground Volume 1, which turned out to be pretty damn good. Like, there was a few little flops on it, but
yeah.
But, you know, the slap fights were damn good. We had our first ever female slap fight.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe I was able to convince Kelly to do it. I'm beyond proud of her for doing that, man.
Trust me, yeah. For someone just to step in there and do it, it takes something, because I refuse to do it. I'm just not going to do it. I don't want to get I'm not getting slapped, man.
Well, I told Kelly, like, we really underestimated, like, Crystal Fire. Like, we were, like, looking at her on, like, Facebook, and, like, the whole time I'm like, oh, yeah, you can do it. And then we get there, oh, dang, Kelly, that's like going against me out there. I'm like, you still want to do it? She's like, yeah. And I thought she was going to take one slap and be done, but in fact, she took two.
Yeah, she took two, and I mean, she took two good ones. Like, Crystal...
Like, no flinching either. And she didn't bitch about it. That was cool.
And which also, you know, the show that we're talking about now, we shot a small film about that one as well, and it's called The Fan 2, available on my channel, The Fan 2, which it just basically surrounded the show, which I don't think I got too much of you on that one because your match was actually after mine, so I didn't get footage of it.
Yeah, you had to head on out.
Yeah, that was one of those shows that just kept going, like it dragged on too damn long.
It took a while. It took all damn day. And then we started shooting at, what, like 11? Everybody got there at 11.
And by, you know, I had to end up leaving by 4 for the babysitter, of course. But you got thrown into that match that, you know, we previously talked about with Jade Blade and Blaine Evans, which, you know, to me are two of the finest workers in the South. Like, technical and hardcore wise, you know, they're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're cool to work with.
I didn't get to watch the match, so I really can't, you know, tell you much about it. So how did you feel about that one?
Oh, you didn't miss much on my end. So it started off with with me being new, I like to talk about, like, I wouldn't say like everything in my match, but like a lot of stuff. Like I like to talk about out like beforehand. And with them being vets, they're not like that. And so we talked about me going through the table, which that was my first table spot and my first like height spot, I guess you could call it. And so, but that was about it that we talked about. We finished the course, and so we get in the ring, and then the bell rings, and we just start going at it, brawling, and we're talking through it, grabbing tubes, taking it. So for like the first 10 minutes, it's just absolute chaos in the ring, and then we go on the outside, we're brawling some more. I do a spot where I intercept Blaine Evans going up the ladder with a tube, and he goes through boards stacked on top of chairs with tubes and barbed wire, and then off some more. We take it up to the apron, go through the table with the barbed wire, and then we do a spot where me and Blaine are brawling. And then Jay Blake grabbed a cookie sheet. Well, this cookie sheet, I didn't know it at the time. It was just put in the ring, but it had a gusset plate on it. Well, when Jay Blake jumps from the ring apron and hits me with the cookie sheet, it literally rips my forehead. Like, it looked like Freddy Krueger got me. Like, you know how much damage a gusset plate can do.
Yeah.
And it ended up getting, that artery, like, in your eyebrows?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like another situation where I started spraying. I mean, like, I would say it was worse than Jerry Helms, honestly. But it was worse than, like, the Bladen incident.
Yeah, a gusset, when it hits you, it's gonna cut you, probably 5, 10, 15 times at once. So yeah, you're gonna get some blood off of them gusset plate every time.
What fucked me up the most was I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't know it was on there. We just thought it was just a cookie sheet, and we just needed to fill the time. Because even when Jay Blade hit me, he was like, "Oh shit." He hit me and it just sticks to my face, like completely, like it stuck so hard. The momentum from him swinging it took the tray out of his hands.
Yeah.
And it just stuck there, but it was bad.
So yeah,
I had to exit out, but it was towards the end, and I think I went the match went like 15 minutes. And I had to exit out at like the 14-minute mark. So I'm not too disappointed in myself.
Like, I'll definitely be looking forward to it because like I said, I didn't get to watch that one, so I definitely want to see it. And, expectations with Blaine is high, so,
I've seen just hard cam footage of it so far. That's about it.
So, now we're pretty much to current date. Are you currently training anywhere new, or are you just, freelancing right now?
I'm working with Pretty Boy Floyd, and I'm actually fixing to move to Rome, Georgia. And so I'm going to just continue training over at the KLT Arena and doing their shows and stuff.
Yeah, and that's a very good place to be.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to get out and do death matches more. Yeah, I like KLT because it's old school like training.
Like I know,
I work old school heel.
I would love to have a ring again and start up my own training sessions and training days again like we used to. Mm-hmm. But just it don't look like that in no near future. We actually had a really good place right down the road. What is that place called? Victory Championship, and they just went under some controversy with one of their trainers or head guys being arrested for child assault on a child or something. That kind of blew up. So I don't know what's really going on down there.
Yeah, that's wild. That happened with another deathmatch promotion or something. Something big on IWTV, the guy faked his name and everything, the promoter did.
Yeah, something like that. I know, company, you know, it obviously ain't the damn company's fault, but you know, it hurts and stains the company whenever, you know, you got that association tied to it.
And unfortunately, like, I don't know why it is, but unfortunately, that's like a big thing in our like profession, like in professional wrestling. Like, you hear about all the time for whatever reason.
Yep, unfortunately we do. Like, you know, with me going through training at one time, I'm not even going to mention the place or the promoter, but yeah, it got brought up a few times at a place that I went to wrestle at. I think I trained there one time, but when I trained there, they seen how good I already was, so, you know, they just went ahead and put me on the show. But
Yeah.
But then I started hearing the damn talks and the rumors about that place, and it was about that kind of shit, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely don't got nothing like that going on in the Deep South locker room.
Hell no.
We're all family over here.
I mean, that is what I love about the Deep South locker room is, you know, we're family. Like, we're all brothers, all sisters. You know, it's a very tight locker room to the pretty much.
Yeah, this fighting's going to be interesting.
So yeah, let's talk about the next show. I'm not sure who you got on that one. Because, you know, obviously it's boxing, slap fight, and kickboxing. So who do you got on this one?
Yeah, so I'm in the heavyweight boxing tournament. I had the opportunity to have my rematch, but I decided not to more focus on the boxing match because I'd rather have a better chance of winning the boxing belt than, you know, having a, you know, chance of winning the slap fight, but a low chance of that. But, yeah, I'm fighting Big James in the tournament for the first round, and then if I win, I'll be going against whoever wins against Mr. Crystal and Jeff Hart. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah, that's going to be good. And, like, just off the names that you mentioned, yeah, I would say that you have a definitely a high percentage out of everybody else to, you know, advance in this.
Well, I don't even want to take the risk of, like, going out there and, like, going against Jay Blade and, you know, like, getting, like, rocked. Like, even if I win, you know, like, there ain't no way it's healthy to go out and do a slap fight and, you know, go do a boxing match. That's what we care about in Deep South, safety first. And, yes, but it's going to be interesting, though, because if, like, there's a very high possibility that the finals could be Mountain Mafia going against each other for that heavyweight boxing belt with me versus Mr. Crystal.
Definitely could be. And, like, you know, on this show, I'm not scheduled to wrestle anybody. I've actually put it out there on the internet that you have to fill out an application and send an application fee in to wrestle me now. So no title shot for anybody.
Yeah, I'm going to challenge you. Hair versus belts. It's going to be good. Whenever you want.
You know, I think
I
would rather enjoy to get the first match of Deathmatch Forest out of the way. I think that'd be a good opportunity to do that.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Because, you know, like, a lot of people ask me what happened to the Deathmatch Forest. I was supposed to have debuted, you know, at the end of last year. But, you know, we were actually in the area where we were going to do that movie. And we were shooting Chapman's Hill 4, which is on my channel, Chapman's Hill 4. And me and one of the other actors actually got shot at because it was hunting season. So,
oh, shit.
So we kind of bailed on that area for now.
The cool part about Alabama is you have the you have the unusual danger of copperheads.
Yeah.
That's the unusual aspect of the match.
So yeah, like, yeah, it's always will be wild in hell. I mean, that'd be a damn good match.
But my guy Drew, the hardcore hillbilly, just pulled a copperhead out of a log.
See, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but we just released 10 Mile Cemetery 3, and so we returned to those same set of woods. And during the filming process, I actually pushed a huge ass freaking tree over, and it was part of the scene, but I pushed it over towards Jinx the Clown, and like, yeah, those forests out there, or the woods out there, are kind of dangerous.
Nice.
Between rotten ass trees falling and them getting shot at.
Get speared through a fucking 20-foot oak tree.
You know what's funny though is out there's actually an uprooted tree, and it's laying on the ground, so the roots are still got all the wood, or all the dirt around it. So that's like probably a 12 to 15 foot platform that's out there to jump off of.
Oh wow.
Trust me, I've already seen it and looked at it. I've thought about it.
You stepped on it yet?
I've got up on the wood part. I didn't jump up on the roots.
Yeah, I thought that'd be a little sketch. Oh well, somebody will do it.
Yeah, but I've been in contact with a few people about doing the deathmatch forest, but then that happened, so I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna risk getting shot right now.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we got this new show coming up. It's going to be boxing, slap fights, and actually a kickboxing match between Legato Vaughn and Jeremy Snaker, if I'm correct. Am I right with that?
I didn't know if Jay Blade was going to do it. Is Jay Blade going to be defending the boxing?
You know what? I think it may be Jay Blade. It may be Jay Blade versus Legato Vaughn.
That'd be better in my opinion. I'd love to see that.
I think that's what it is. I just got the name wrong there. I don't know why I said Jeremy Snaker.
My money's on Legato.
Well, Legato, yeah, he's actually done that before. I'm not sure about Jay Blade because no one gave Jay Blade a very high chance in the slap fight, and that went away. So I'm not going to say that it's not going to be good with him. But yeah, when you look at it on paper, yeah.
Tough is we were throwing some dang sluggers, and we would have probably won 50 rounds if we could have. But the issue was I had more penalties than rounds to go ahead.
Yeah.
And so there's no way I could do it unless every slap he did for the next 4 rounds for penalties. I was like, yep, we still got the tag team match. I'm like, there's no point.
Well, you know what? That match is actually on my channel, but it's just private currently, so I have watched it.
Yeah.
I'm not releasing, when Deep South does the show, I don't release my footage for, months after the DVD release.
I think with the fight shows, we need to have slow motion replay. I think that would help a lot with calls. I'm not saying any calls were bad in anything so far, but for going forward, since we're doing this a lot more legit now.
Yeah, I think there needs to be judges on both sides. It's there's too much. In my opinion, there's too much. When someone gets slapped, they got to start, defending themselves or trying to state a case. It shouldn't even be like that. Let that damn judge, whatever that judge says on the side, should automatically be, that's it. That's the rule.
Yeah, there should be no, question about it.
Because I understand,
you're in trouble if the ref goes, I don't know.
Yeah, because...
Or put drugs his shoulders.
Some people have big, big hands and big fingers or long fingers, so the ear's going to get hit. That's one of the most common things is the ear.
Well, even if you don't even have big hands, you have a small face.
Yeah, that's true.
Have a small head.
Because Big James, he has a big fucking head, small brain, big head.
And a lot of people don't realize, everybody says that I'm stupid for the way that I take my slaps. You've seen the way that I take them. I put my hands on the table, and I don't even budge. No flinch or anything. I think every hit on me is always a good shot.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize, flinching, that could end up messing you up, too.
Well, see, I think a flinch should be a damn penalty. I know some people he flinched, redo it.
Or redo, yeah.
I think a flinch should be a penalty. Me and my wife actually talked about that today. We were watching a slap fight with some big ass Russians, and they put their hands on the table like you said, but they close their eyes. That way you don't flinch.
That's the very last second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But definitely, yeah, the slap fights, and hell, even including the boxing, could definitely use some definitely stricter rules. More enforced and to the T. Because I know if I'm correct, I'm going to be a ref on this show for a few of the matches. A guest ref, that is.
Yeah. Boxing's going to be cool because it's pro wrestling. Like every pro wrestler thinks that they're tough, so it's going to be neat. Like just seeing it's all friendly competition, but we definitely ain't going to be fighting like it.
Yeah. Well, see, if you pick up a victory in the boxing fight, then it's going to be really important. Because if I'm correct, you still have not won a death match, right?
No, I still have not won a death match.
So you'll win a slap fight. If you win the boxing, you'll get a boxing fight victory.
2-1 in slap fights.
So then it's going to be very important for you to come back and get that first damn victory in a death match.
Yeah, and it'd be another cool thing if I win the boxing belt. I will be the first champion of all the shoot fights.
Yep.
I was the first slap fight champion. Now, if I become the first boxing champion, that'd be pretty dope. That'd be cool.
It'll definitely be something nobody else can say, because I pride myself on being the only person to ever win Carnage Cup, Softcore Cup, the IWA Heavyweight Championship, the LXW Heavyweight Championship, the LXW Intergalactic Championship, and now the $10 and $5 Heavyweight Champion.
Hell yeah.
Nobody else has done that.
Have you wrestled since the last show?
No, I'm actually wrestling. Let's see, I'm actually wrestling next Friday for the first time for a new title at Venom Championship Wrestling, which will be in Alpine, Alabama. I'm taking on the Mac Daddy, formerly known as Juicy Bruce and Cornbread, for the Dirtiest Wrestler in the South Championship.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
And it's a street fight, so definitely my style. The belt looks damn nice. It almost looks like the IWGP title.
Ooh, okay. Tell them they need to get the hardcore hillbilly out there.
You know what? If I can talk to good old Rando, I might be able to convince him to get you on that show, and we can do that match we were talking about.
Hell yeah, that'd be dope. Are you gonna bring all of the belts with you to that show?
I might, yeah. Because what's funny is I'm pulling double duty on that show. I'm actually recording. I'm recording the whole damn show, and obviously I'm gonna have my COVID mask on, and I'm not gonna be in gear while I'm out there. So hopefully no one really notices me with being kind of covered up. And then right before the main event, I'm gonna run back there undressed because I'm gonna have my gear on under, and then I'm gonna go out there and do the main event.
You should wear a hoodie.
Yeah, I'll probably do that too.
Cover the side of your face, tuck your beard in a little bit.
I'm telling you, I work my ass off on these random shows trying to record them, put them out there, and get these younger guys more publicity.
Yeah, I'm excited though for this fight. It's going to be it's for people that don't know out there. These are pro wrestlers doing the fights, but the fights are 100% real. They couldn't be more real. And you'll see the destruction after the show, the obliterated faces and shattered dreams all over social media.
And yeah, at this show, I am recording a new film. It's going to be a behind-the-scenes documentary style about the Deep South, because it's called The Deep South. And it's basically going to give a walkthrough with a bunch of interviews with, the wrestlers, the promoter, and, some behind-the-scenes footage and in-ring footage of that night. So that's going to be a really cool, DVD. It's going to be a really cool documentary that'll be on my channel probably, about a week after the show. So.
Hell yeah.
So definitely I'll have to get a good interview with the Hardcore Hillbilly, because, you're this generation's new Deep South guy, so.
Yeah. I think honestly, I think all of it has to do because I'm kind of funny. I think people either like me or they hate me. I feel like there's no people that like feel indifferent.
All right, so before we get off here, we're going to do some word association. I'm just going to shoot some names at you and give me your opinion on them.
All right.
All right, first, we're going to start off Kevin Brandon.
Kevin Brandon, probably one of the best promoters out there, in terms of like likability wise, morale's really good over in the Deep South locker room. He plays a big part in that.
All right, Nick Gage.
Nick Gage is a fucking beast. I feel like he's this generation's New Jack. Honestly, I'll go ahead and say it. I think he's more brutal than New Jack. I think I'd definitely be more scared of Nick Gage than New Jack. I say that New Jack's gonna watch it and kill me later on.
Matt Tremont.
Matt Tremont. He was one of the first deathmatch indie guys I started watching. It's cool to see another big guy out there doing death matches. 'Cause we work very similar. Trust me, you won't ever see the hardcore hillbilly doing that flippy bullshit.
The IWA legend, Tank.
Oh, I love Tank. Tank don't even know me by my real name. I was helping out with PWG Pro Wrestling Georgia, and Tank was there in the back, and I said, "What's up, Tank?" And he goes, "Hey, aren't you Blade Boy?" So now for the past 8 months, every time I see Tank, that's all he calls me is Blade Boy.
The Black Sheep, Cody McCauley, now known as Tyler Graves.
Definitely the funnest person to ever go on road trips with. Super cool dude.
All right, rest in peace, Spider Boudreaux.
Spider Boudreaux, I never, got to meet him, and he stopped wrestling in Deep South when I started watching. And, but I have seen a lot of his videos, and he was another, cool bigger guy that was doing it out there, and he was another dude that, when other people wouldn't take the spot, he'd be one of the ones that'd be like, "I'd do it."
One of the original IWA Freak Show.
Oh, I love Freak Show. Freak Show's had a lot of good matches. He's another cool one. I haven't seen too much of him. I have seen most of the stuff that I've seen from him is from your YouTube channel, doing the reviews and stuff.
Yeah. Talking about my channel, the Angel of Death, John Rare.
John Rare, definitely, he's probably my favorite doctor in the wrestling business for sure. Definitely a big mentor. You checked on me probably every day for the first 2 weeks after the stapling incident, making sure I was all right and everything.
Yeah, I think I even had I had a conversation with your dad. After that, did you know about that?
Yeah, my dad was more worried than I was.
Yeah.
At the time, I was only 18 years old.
Yeah.
Doing this crazy stuff.
All right, so do you have anything that you would leave us with before we expel out of this interview?
Not really. I'm just everybody listening. Y'all better come out and watch the Smash Mouth fights by $10 Fight in IWA Deep South. I'll be getting a new order of Hardcore Hillbilly t-shirts in, so be on the lookout for that. And that's about it.
So that's in Carrollton, Georgia. What's the date for that one?
The date? I don't even know. Sometime in June.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've seen it advertised, but I just don't have that date down yet.
It's like the June teens. It's 13th or 16th. It's one of those 2 days. Those stick out for some reason.
All right, people, so pay attention. Look up IWA Deep South $10 Fighting for the show that's going to be in Carrollton, Georgia, and it'll definitely be a fun one to be at. I'm going to be there. Just come out and watch, for fuck's sakes.
And then, if you want to see the hardcore hillbilly out there at your local show, just let the promoter know.
Definitely so.
Yeah.
You know, if you want the hardcore hillbilly, tell your local promoter to get his ass over there.
And follow me on Facebook. Just type in Hardcore Hillbilly. That's about it.
Well, I'd like to say thank you, and of course, thanks to all the fans for watching. If you want to hear more interviews, of course, request them. That's one reason I did this one, is some fans started asking about where the hell my interviews went, so I went ahead and jumped on it. And of course, what was his name? The classic Raider Rock wanted to come on here tonight, and I was like, you know what, Raider Rock, back off. I've got the hardcore hillbilly. Okay, well, word association real quick. Raider Rock.
I mean, me and him have kind of gotten into it a little bit over some comments on some other wrestlers like Pages, and you know, I don't know if it was him being a smart ass or me taking the stuff wrong, whatever. But a lot of the guys don't like him, and I don't know him enough to like sit here and be like, I hate this dude or anything. But I haven't had, in the very limited interactions I've had with them, they haven't been good interactions. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say I don't like the guy or anything. Like, we're in the locker room together. I'm a professional, you know? But I wouldn't even, I don't feel enough about him one certain way to even do anything to him or anything. You know?
Yeah. What did you think about the genre Sonic videos? Did you watch those?
Yeah, I actually thought you worked at Sonic.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
I was so close to messaging you, being like, yo, John, what happened? Need me a little help or something?
But you know what? I definitely appreciate, Jay Slack coming to my defense on there, because I don't know if you read that on the Murder, Death, Kill page, but, there were some people basically, laughing at it, and, they didn't know it was a work, but, Slack got on there and said, I can't exactly remember his damn comment, but basically, hey, some people need to do what they got to do to get money. Back off.
Yeah, but Slack's so funny. But yeah, it's really funny because the video reminded me of something Ian Rotten told me years ago, and this was at that first ever ECW exposure that I had when I was in 8th grade. They called it the Disaster in Dublin, and so he's, pissed off because at this point they're starting to get worried about their money. And I go up to his table and I'm like, y'all want to do hardcore wrestling too? And he's like, and instead of shooting the shit like most people do with kids, they're like, yeah, okay, alright. He goes, well, if you do that, you're going to waste all your 20s and end up being 30 years old working at Taco Bell. And that was the first other piece of advice, I guess you could call it ever, and it came from Ian Rotten, but glad I didn't listen to it. I mean, I don't know, I'm not 30 yet. If I end up in Taco Bell, I'll let y'all know.
Let's see, Jay Slack's exact comments was, it's called taking care of business and being a man. Some people should try it. Respect. That's what he said.
Slack is a good guy. I love Slack. Slack and Neil are probably the two biggest names that I'm really cool with, that I enjoy. Kira's cool too. He comes to Georgia every now and again.
Yeah, I've only met Akira once, but he was definitely cool. Me and him had a good interview on the Shoot Style Baby tournament behind the scenes, which is also on my channel. Have a good interview with him talking about Aiden Blackheart.
Yeah, my brother, he always goes to shows out there that Kira's on over in South Georgia, and Kira always asks about me and stuff, so he's a cool one.
And he's definitely one of the, young, bright ones right now out there in the business, so.
Oh, yeah. I think it was John Moxley called him out a while back. Somebody, asked me in an interview who'd be one of the, indie deathmatch guys he'd want to work. And Moxley tweeted a Kira or something. Moxley,
that's Dean Ambrose, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be nuts.
You know what? I've said it before, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it again and put it on record. When the Shield came around, Dean was my least favorite person. I don't know why. He's never clicked with me. Even in CZW, he didn't click. I didn't click with him. It's just something about him. I just never, he is a hell of a wrestler. Don't get me wrong with that, but it's just the character or whatever. It just never clicked with me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm in the same boat. A lot of people like take charisma differently. Like what makes one person pop that makes everybody else like nonchalant, or what one person likes everybody hates. And so that's why I feel like Dean Ambrose. Like Dean Ambrose is probably my favorite guy in AEW only because he started out as a deathmatch guy.
Yeah.
And now he's doing this on major television. But yeah, I'd agree. Like I don't think I would buy a Dean Ambrose T-shirt. I wouldn't buy a John Moxley T-shirt.
And like I said, yeah, it's nothing personal against him. It's just it's never clicked with me with him.
Well, I really hope Mox ain't listening right now.
Yeah, sorry, Mox.
Not bad.
if AEW probably would ever hire me for anything, I'd probably have to watch my back because I haven't ever said nothing too glamorous about them.
We're gonna end up on a shoot.
Well, okay, I'll give them this. They got good flippy matches. I'll give them that much, okay?
Yeah. Jim Cornette doesn't like him very much, but I think it's funny. Jim Cornette don't like me either.
Well, Cornette has actually mentioned he's mentioned me before. He didn't badmouth me. Now he didn't like it, but he didn't badmouth me because he mentioned the spot where I stabbed Spider Boudreaux.
Yeah. He's mentioned it a couple of times.
And yeah, he mainly badmouthed the Kevin and the redneck fans for cheering it on.
Yeah, for antagonizing it. Yeah, he said he talked shit about me getting my forehead stapled shut.
And people don't like my opinion on it, but I honestly don't have nothing against Cornette. Like I did like Cornette growing up, so I have this opinion that you can have an opinion, and I don't have to hate you because you got your opinion, because that's the way it should be.
But I said, I don't know him enough to say that I hate. That's how a lot of people come up and ask me if I hate anybody, with the wrestling and stuff, at shows or whatever. People will always come up to me, and a lot of people ask me how I feel about Cornette. I don't personally know him enough to say if I hate him or not. Him shitting on me and shitting on deathmatch wrestling don't affect me any. If anything, it makes me more famous.
Yeah, I mean that's just my opinion. I love Steve Austin. I love Bret Hart. Daniel Bryan. But if any of those guys put out a shoot interview tomorrow and they just bury me completely, it doesn't mean that I'm going to hate them. That's their opinion.
Yeah. I'd be alright. How many views this baby got?
Yeah. Precisely. How many views does this got? I mean, precisely. I made the video about me working at Sonic, and it ended up being on the Murder Death Kill Club. Come on, man.
We gotta figure out. That has to be a gimmick now. We gotta figure it out.
Yeah, y'all go to order something, and I can sneak in y'all's car and take y'all's baggage or something at the next show. Alrighty, Hillbilly, I've had a great interview. Of course, this should be uploaded sometime tonight, I hope, if we don't get hit by the next coming tornado. But if not, everybody tune in tomorrow for this awesome interview. And, of course, hit me back with any future names that you would like to be added. This is the Angel of Death, John Rare, with my guest, the Hardcore Hillbilly. Once again, thanks, everybody.
Have a good one, buddy.